Some legacies must end. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover Warren 20 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for a film released in 1998, more of a crime thriller or anti-racism kind of movie, not the political stuff from today. I mean, the type of anti-racism films from the older 90s era, the one that actually meant something. And this is for a film starring Edward Norton, a critically acclaimed role. This is easily known for being one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is none other than 1998's American History X. So yeah, released on the year I was born. So, that being said, guys, what is this movie about? Well, Derek Vinyard is paroled after serving 3 years in prison for brutally killing 2 black men that tried to break into and steal his truck. Through his brother's, Danny Vinyard narration, we learn that before going to prison, Derek was a skinhead and the leader of a violent white supremacist gang that committed acts of racial crime throughout LA, and his actions greatly influenced Danny. Reformed and fresh out of prison, Derek serves contact with the gang and he becomes determined to keep Danny from going down the same violent path as he did. So yeah. Anyway, how was the movie made? So, screenwriter David McKenna wrote the screenplay for American History X and sold the rights to New Line Cinema when he was 26. The inspiration for the story came from the punk rock scene in McKenna's childhood, where he often witnessed violent behavior. He said he saw a lot of biography growing up, and it made him think about writing something about the world of hate mongers. The point he tried to make in the script is that a person is not born a racist. It is learned through the environment and the people that technically would surround people like him. The question that tricked him is that, why would people hate, and how does one go about changing that? And his premise was that the hate starts in the family, and in order to make characters as realistic as possible, McKenna interviewed and obscened the behavior of skinheads during the writing process. He said he had seen behavior of he had seen documentaries that just didn't ring true to him, and he wanted to write an accurate portrayal of how good kids from good families can get so terribly lost. When it comes to casting Derek Vinyard, originally they were going to have Joaquin Phoenix play him, but he refused to do the part. After holding casting calls, Kay was unable to find a suitable actor for the lead role, but casting director Valerie McCaffrey suggested Edward Norton. Kay initially objected, feeling that Norton lacked the weight or presence, but he eventually conceded, and it was a good thing he did too. According to executive producer Steve Tisch, Norton's passion for the project was contagious, and he even agreed to a pay cut of more than $500,000 from his unusual $1 million fee to be cast in the lead. McCaffrey also cast Edward Furlong for the role of Danny Vinyard. To prepare for the role, Norton increased his calorie intake and spent hours in the gym to gain 25 pounds. So, after the movie was made, the film would go on to be released in theaters in the United States on October 30th, 1998, a day before Halloween, and distributed by New Line Cinema. The film grossed about $23 million worldwide against a $20 million budget. But while it didn't really do well in theaters, American History X was critically praised, with Norton and Furlong's performances and the film's message drawing acclaim. Norton received an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor. The film has also been used for educational purposes in the United States and in other countries. Somehow a follow-up called African History Y, with Kate returning as director and starring, which will star Juma and Hunsu from the MCU is apparently in active development as of 22 years ago in 2020. Well, don't know why we need a follow-up to this. I mean, at least it's going to be in a different country, though. But as for my reaction, this movie would have to be my favorite anti-racism film, my favorite Edward Norton film, and one of my favorite movies of all time in cinema. Like, this is just a fantastic movie because no matter what side you're on in life, this movie shows them all, good and bad, right or wrong. I really even agree with the point in the movie that proves that people can change for the better and straighten things out in their head to do the right things in life. Yes, things in our world have changed, some for the good, some for the bad, but just because you might not agree with some of it doesn't mean you can play God, try to make things your way, and this shows exactly what happens when you try. This movie talks about all walks of life and the struggles we all have and what beliefs we are right and wrong. Yes, this movie is brutal and violent, but also truthful to the past and unfortunately still sometimes the present. Like, who better than to display these wild but common complexities with people than Edward Norton? The range she shows here is astonishing, and which was only his fifth movie at the time. Norton, of course, plays the role of Derek Vinyard, who is that skinhead that realizes through cruel yet necessary events in his life that has gone down the wrong path. And then he gets out of jail after 3 years, and he tries to stop the path that his brother Edward Furlong, who Edward Furlong plays, is going down the same road he had done. Through all his efforts, some things just prove to be inevitable, And Avery Brooks also gives a great performance as Derek Vinyard's former teacher and now principal of his former school. His words may not be the most inspiring, but his actions and messages sent across are subtle yet strong and to the point. And Norton's performance though wasn't just about rage, but exploring different dimensions in life. Whether it proves to be psychological, social, or even political at a certain level, it was a transforming performance revealing something mind-blowing and eye-opening, this includes anyone, can take a devastating turn in life no matter how intelligent we are or thoughtful. That the person that determines the outcome of your life is yourself, whether it is good or bad. And Norton's realizations aren't through teachings such as the ones that got him in jail, but they're through the events and time that he spent in jail. He saw the truth for himself, realizing that what is false and what is real. The movie's story is told beautifully in black and white color. The quite original directing from Tony Kaye gives this movie a nice visual style and certain atmosphere. The story itself isn't that complicated and extremely original on its own, perhaps at most points even predictable, but the way the story is told is phenomenal. This is not a movie with a happy ending or a movie that provides a solution to the racial discrimination problems. It shows what is not the solution to the problems and that everything that is occurring is like a vicious circle. The movie does not give a hopeful message, but instead shows the dangers of pain you could be causing yourself, your close environment, if you end up trying to be like a white supremacist. And no, I'm not trying to get political in this review, guys. One of the reasons I like this film is that unlike a lot of movies today that go woke, the racism messages are not shoved down your throat in this film. It's very subtle and believable. There's no characters standing on screen about those goddamn Mexicans that don't want them changing my look so they can rob the place with their little essays right in front of them. This is literally how you do an anti-racist movie. Not all the political or woke bullshit like in these types of movies nowadays. Yeah, I like how Disney seems to think it works. It's this gets it way better than a million damn Disney films. This whole movie gets it a lot better than a lot of films that literally fail at trying to be like this movie do. Holy hell, I really wish if Hollywood wants to get it right, they really need to watch this film to see if they want to get their bloody messages done right. This was made back when messages like this were done with an actual meaning, and not just to try to be political like every single thing does nowadays. Like I said before, Edward Norton is truly fantastic in his role. He is very well believable as a neo-Nazi, as well as the reformed person he later turns into in the movie. It's almost like he's playing two different characters, and he does that so extremely well. Also, really good was Edward Furlong, who kind of pretty much disappeared onto the path of drugs after this movie, pretty much. Only role known stuff he did was Terminator 2 Judgment Day and this movie. And then he just disappeared and went down the bad path after this. Furlong and Norton are both acting well together, and their scenes are highly believable as the two brothers. So, what would have to be my bad qualities for this movie? Well, when it comes to the bad qualities, I would have to say that some of the scenes can be a little disturbing, Especially the scene of, like, the infamous scene you probably all know about where Derek kills the would-be truck thief by, like, basically curb stomping him. Or the scene of Derek being, like, raped in the prison shower by the Aryan Brotherhood members. And also, of course, the grocery store invasion scene, especially when some of the raid members assault the female cashier and pour all sorts of white liquids on her face, such as milk, etc. Or let's not forget the ending. And man, the ending is a massive heartbreaker. Like, I'm gonna get into a bit of spoilers here, guys, so if you haven't seen the movie, please stop watching the review, just skip ahead to this part, because this ending is gonna be a major spoiler. Basically, Danny agrees to change his racist ways, and and the next day at school, he's about to go hand in his paper, but just as he's about to leave the bathroom and go hand in his assignment to the teacher guy, this black kid that he had messed with the previous day in the same bathroom is standing right in front of him, and he just quickly just gunshots him out of nowhere, and he falls to the floor dead. And then, of course, and then Derek finds his brother dead, and pretty much starts mourning him, and that's like, and we hear the final quote from Danny's paper get narrated for Danny himself, and that's just pretty much the end of the film. Because, well, like I said, guys, there is no happy ending in this film. So if you want a film with a happy ending, I don't think this movie's for you. Yeah. But despite the bad qualities, how is American History X? Well, American History X is a wonderfully made film, and an anti-racism message done the right way, unlike all the stuff today. If you want to see this, well, I highly recommend this movie to anybody if they are if they're over 18 and up anyways. For those who are over 18 and up and have subscribed to my channel, definitely give this movie a watch, because it is just phenomenal from start to finish. Like, if you want to see one of Edward Norton's best performances, then definitely go check this movie out. This is a way better attempt at a message like this than a lot of stupid Hollywood films or overrated Hollywood films that try to poorly copy this message today. Like, this is probably one of the only times they actually get the message right. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for my review of American History X, and here's how I'm going to rank this movie. So overall, if you want to see Edward Norton's prime time in his career, then I highly recommend you watch this film and then go out and buy it, because it is absolutely worth adding to your collection of movies at home. So if you're wondering how I'm going to rank American History X, I'm going to give American History X a 10 out of 10. Alright, here we go. We just reviewed an adult movie. Now if you're wondering what my next review is going to be, well, my next review is going to be for a childhood favorite. Yes, do all of those. I'll show you what my next review is going to be. Maybe file. Alright. My next review is going to be for a long-awaited to be talked about childhood favorite of mine. Another one of my favorite movies of all time. Yes. This is the next film I'm going to review on this channel. Likely after Easter weekend. Because Easter weekend, I might possibly be on a bit of a hiatus. For a little bit for Easter weekend this Easter, because since this is technically going to be the first Easter I can see more family relatives, and I couldn't do that the previous 2 Easters because of all the COVID crap. So yeah, this Easter weekend I might probably be on a bit of a hiatus. But until after Easter weekend, I'll totally be back. So don't go anywhere, guys. But until then, that'll be it for this review. Thank you all for watching, and if you'd like to want to see more, don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.